All crosses lead to Rome. All right, point number 3. Was it a slave trade or was it a transatlantic war? The story of a massive 300-year slave trading operation that brought 12 million Africans to the Americas, that's North, Central, and South, is a cover story for the European crusade against our black ancestral civilizations. As I just said, the Pope authorized it in 1491, and suddenly they were out there discovering places full of people. Places that weren't lost were being found. The slave trade was part of a centuries-long race war. Now this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff. And let me not get ahead of myself. In this war, Arabs, pale Arabs, who had been in conflict with the black Islamic empires of Africa since 1189, allied themselves with the white Europeans and black Christian converts in 1491 to wage a war that would destroy every black civilization on the planet. Again, a lot of stuff I'm going to touch on. I'm not going to go too deep in it because it's just outside of the scope of this. This transatlantic war combined military invasion and genocide with biological, psychological, social, legal, and financial tactics to achieve total domination over indigenous Nubian peoples. The defeated Nubians were captured as prisoners of war. Again, we go back to the Europeans and their wordplay. The people you are calling slaves are prisoners of war. They're prisoners of war, and what you're calling a slave trade was a war. It was a race war. This strategy was done in order to dismantle families, tribes, and nations. You break them up, that's divide and conquer. To destroy languages, cultures, and lineages, and to dictate a new name, a new identity, and a new story for our people. In other words, to replace our greatness with weakness. To tell us that we didn't accomplish or build anything. We started out as slaves. So how were we made slaves? It was a process, it was a strategy. First, armed mercenaries invade your island and overpower your warriors. Check. Then they established seaports like Port Antonio and Port Royal and Old Harbor and Kingston and Port Morant and Runaway Bay. These are ports from which to coordinate their massacre of the native populations. Step 3, you then enslave the surviving population. Obviously, if you show up here and let's say he wiped out 1 million Nubians on Jamaica in 1494. What do you think the other million are gonna do? I mean, that's what you call literally putting the fear of God into people. So we walked into slavery, some of us. Some of us fought back, and we know who those people were. Step 4, you then prevent them from teaching one another. We take so many things for granted, but understand that 150 years ago, it was illegal for black people on Jamaica to learn to read and write. It was against the law to teach a Negro to read or write. Do not take it for granted, beloveds. Use your intelligence. And step 5, you impose a foreign religion.